Michelle's gonna try and anchor the live local news. In front of San Diegans, tens of thousands of people are gonna be hanging on every word she says.
There's breaking news happening right now.
You don't know what's gonna happen. At home, you see a news anchor giving you fluid information. That's not how it always goes.
All right, we got about 15 seconds. Camera one's gonna move.
Sometimes I'll look up and there's nothing in the teleprompter. All we know is that there's a shooting. And they say, Eric, go.
Stand by, Eric. Cue.
So glad you're with us here on this Monday, everybody. I'm Eric Connert.
I'm gonna be doing that.
The world is falling apart around you, and there is complete chaos. You're there to make sure that the train keeps going down the track smoothly. NYPD says this strong person of interest is 26-year-old Luigi Mangione. Michelle's final challenge, she's going to sit next to me as my co-anchor. She's going to do the news live in front of San Diegans. Tens of thousands of people are going to be hanging on every word she says. But first up, I gotta fill her in on some key points. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm Michelle.
Nice to meet you. We both got the blue blazer thing going.
We're matching.
That's the sign of a good anchor team right there. This is the studio. This is where it's all happened. Our weather center over here, the main set here. We have the pano over here.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
So you ready to be a news anchor?
I mean, you tell me.
And the first step to becoming a news anchor is learning how to manage the infamous teleprompter.
All right, so this is where you'll sit in this seat right here, and this is my seat. It has to be that way because they already have the show formatted as to who's gonna be in what shot and which chair and everything, and your name's gonna pop up on the lower part of the screen here.
I'm gonna have a lower third?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God!
She knows, you know what lower thirds are?
Yes!
Boom! When you're sitting here, you ready for it? The driver's pedal. See it down there?
What?
Yep, we're gonna be driving the prompter. Did you press on it yet?
Oh, it's a very sensitive touch.
Yeah, you can go very quickly and you can go as slow as you want. So when we're at the desk, that frees up our hands. And the reason that's important is because we use our hands when we talk because it feels more natural that way. And if the show is to open, you know, I'd say, hi everyone, I'm Eric Connert. Welcome to your Monday morning. Sure hope you had a really nice weekend. And then you would say your name. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Michelle Khare. I mean, that's already bad. Do that again. Hey, I'm Michelle Khare.
Perfect.
And today's my first day on the job.
Boom. There we go. See, now the three keys I think to news anchoring. You ready for them? Credible.
Credible.
You gotta be credible. You gotta be informed. You gotta be informed and you have to be authentic.
Credible, informed, authentic.
Yeah.
CIA.
See, that's how you remember it.
Should we practice?
Okay, you ready to practice a little bit?
Using this teleprompter.
Just remember, the teleprompter is not the show. It's just a guide. If you don't like the way something's written or is said on there, you can just change it how you want to change it so that
In the
you're
moment.
more authentic. I think what people think is that news anchors just are teleprompter readers. That is a very small portion of our job. And if we stuck to the teleprompter all the time, we'd be in big trouble.
The White House Reception Committee greeted the prime rib roast minister, and I like-a do da cha-cha.
Oftentimes it'll say, we're going to breaking news now of a fire, and that's it.
So the prompter's changing as the show's
Absolutely. Okay, you ready to do it?
Yeah.
here
Okay,
we
so
go.
one step at a time with the prompter.
We'll start with
Where do I
just
look?
reading the prompter to start.
Okay.
This is CBS 8 News Live at 11.
This it right here? Okay, here you go. Oh, you can't laugh during it.
Oh, no laughing.
Especially with this word, polarization.
Okay, here we go. This is so ridiculous.
You can't have the
Okay,
giggles
I know.
on live TV, Michelle.
I've gotta be serious. Okay.
All right.
Merriam-Webster has named polarization the 2024 word of the year. Polarization means a division into two distinctly sharp objects. Oh God, no, wait, that is totally wrong.
Even if that happens, it's live. You gotta you just gotta allow. I'm sorry. Let me say that again.
Okay.
Just people at home will be like, okay.
Okay, I completely lost my place. So it's like my face in the
gotcha.
ticker underneath says polarization named word of the year. What the heck?
Okay.
Merriam-Webster has named polarization the 2024 word of the year. Polarization means a division into two sharply distinct opposites.
Polarization. I think we heard that quite a bit during the elections.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Woo!
Fortnite also a popular one. Uh-oh, your IFB just popped out. We are having technical difficulties up here, folks. It's okay. I think the biggest obstacle for Michelle is just to be herself. Easier said than done, because you're taking all of these facets of journalism, and then you understand that on the other side, there's, 20, 30,000 people that are listening to every single word, and there's no redo. I think with experience, you're able to take all of that in those critical, tough moments and still be relatable, still be the person that's having that conversation with you in your living room.
Okay, you know what you guys have that I need to improve? I feel like there's a news anchor voice or
Really?
cadence. Like
Yeah.
you guys can command.
I think it's confidence. It's a confidence command.
Like I feel like me saying, hey, the weather is here versus like, the weather tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think getting back to that authentic thing, I think the beginning, news anchors want to feel like they've got to talk like this and be a little more robotic and be super overly commanding, which actually has the reverse effect. They're either trying too hard, they're not comfortable, they're not confident. We don't want to have news anchor voice. We want to have Michelle and Eric's voice.
Okay, I like that.
Okay. You ready for live TV?
I'm gonna review the prompter a few more times.
We can do this. Let's
can.
do it. My co-anchor. Let's do it.
Wait, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Is there a secret handshake when you're co-anchors with somebody?
We can make one. What do you want to do? Ready? Breaking news.
And for my final challenge, I will be co-anchoring the news with Eric live. But what I do
Local news is great because we're the ones in the community that are going out, digging up the stories, talking to local people about how they feel, telling the stories that impact your everyday life. When it comes to a fire, we're there for you. We're talking about evacuations. We're trying to get your family out safely. This may not be even mentioned in network news. For us, we're invested in our community. In many cases, these are the communities where we live. These are our neighbors. We are the voice of the people in that situation. We are sometimes the first voice they hear on what steps they should be taking to keep their family safe.
3 major wildfires are
I
burning.
think some of the challenges this morning will be that I am learning all of the news as it's happening. I've also got to do the weather today, which was a bit challenging when I practiced, but I've just got to get it together. The news doesn't stop, and the news doesn't sleep.
That's your rundown. So you'll start on desk with Eric, and then once we're into weather, we'll have you get off desk so you can head into Studio A.
Today, the County Board of Supervisors is voting on whether or not to allow American Airlines to fly out.
45.
Hi, Michelle. How are you? You ready?
Then let's go ahead and get Michelle in that chair.
What's up?
Hey!
How are you?
I'm
You
so
ready for your
good.
debut?
Yes, sir.
About 10 seconds.
Gotta do our handshake.
Bam, bam.
Breaking news.
All right, stand by 2.
Have fun.
And cue Eric.
Welcome back. A red flag warning in San Diego is now expired, but thousands of people across the county are still feeling the impact. Thanks for being here. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Michelle Khare from Challenge Accepted. We have team coverage this morning. CBS 8's Regina Ureta is live in Ramona, where a second fire broke out in the same spot as yesterday. This comes as thousands are still in the area without power.
We do want to check in with meteorologist Evan Ronnie, tracking the wind starting to die down a bit out there.
The County Board of Supervisors is voting on whether or not American Airlines can fly out of Palomar Airport.
Yeah, if this is approved here, this would be the first time commercial flights fly out of the airport in 28 years.
Perfect.
Alrighty, you guys are clear for about a minute 30.
Okay, cool.
Evan, you'll go stand next to Eric. You guys will chat, toss to weather.
We just ad-libbed this part, toss to weather. Why don't you be the one that comes up with the toss to weather?
So when they cut to us, I'll be like, Evan, we've got a lot going on.
All right, guys, 5 seconds. Stand by, open first. Go for it.
Well, it has been a crazy week for weather, as well as these fires that have been outbreaking. Yesterday, I was at the border fire reporting,
Right.
and the winds were just so wild. I couldn't even keep anything straight.
right? Yeah.
Can
Lot
we
of
expect
wind.
more of that this week, Evan?
So those winds are dying down slowly.